All right.
Come on, that's great. Are anybody else's hands starting to get raw though from washing?
Welcome to the Empty
No, I
Wagon
haven't changed
Fantasy
anything.
Football Podcast, boys. We are washing hands. We are staying sanitized. We are getting down and dirty. And I don't want to call it free agency frenzy because that's what everybody's calling it. I want to call it free agency free basing. What? Oh, no, ain't not that.
What? No, what? No, I strongly disagree. No.
There's
Right. So have you guys
snow on the
seen that dating
mountains.
show where you like got a date? They do like the blind date where it's completely dark in there and you can only talk to each other and you can't see each other. You know what I'm talking about? It was some. Yeah, Josh, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Long time
That's what
ago.
free agency is this
Talking
year
about,
because you can't go and see the other player. You can't get medical. Tom Brady had to go to New York to see his special doctor to get cleared physically to even sign his contract, which we'll get into in a little bit.
You shouldn't even done that.
He's TB12. He's on TB12. TB12 is actually the cure for Corona.
It is.
Is that what that is?
He's timeless.
So is that who we're
we're
gonna
gonna
start
start
with?
there.
We're
I'm
gonna
gonna ask
start
you
with
guys
Tom
how you're
Brady.
doing. How we doing, boys? We locked down. We staying safe. We covering our mouths.
Still going to work. Feels good.
Yeah, boys.
Feels real good.
So did you?
And
I-
yes, the backs of my hands are so dry from washing. They hurt. Like I put lotion on them and it stung because it's just they're raw. They're just beat up from washing.
You're washing
So-
your hands way too much.
I want to
Or maybe I am.
before
haven't
we get
changed
into
my part.
fantasy football.
I'm still just doing
before we
things
get
the way
into
I was
FSA,
doing.
I kind of want to do this. We're all big Parks and Rec fans here. Did you guys see the little Parks and Rec thing? Like if it was going on during the coronavirus and how people would respond to it. It was what, bud? Okay, go ahead.
I did.
Hold on,
order-
here we go.
So
Sorry.
I saw these people ordering.
Oh, yeah, sorry. He's good.
Okay,
I just got
all
to,
right.
take care of the kids. Coronavirus didn't take care of the kids for me, so I got to take care of them. Too deep? Too dark? Okay.
And there go the
Yeah, well,
rest of our
listeners.
listeners.
No, all right, here we go.
Uh,
So you had Andy who said, I touch my face all the time and I lick everything. I'm fine. And you got Ben who says, I just wash my hands and don't touch my face. Calm down, everybody. You got Tom who freaks out and buys everything and self-quarantines himself. You got Larry, Gary,
Oh yeah. Toilet
Jerry
paper.
that actually gets the coronavirus. You got Leslie who freaks out and makes 17 binders about how to stop the coronavirus. So which one are you
Okay.
guys? Or are you April who just says bring
I'm
it
Nick
on?
Offerman.
Oh, Nick Offerman who just says it's a fake government propaganda.
Yep. That's it.
Well, you and I have done this exercise, Brad.
Yeah.
We've done this
John
before.
Raffio,
So you know I'm Ben.
you trying to fake your death?
John Raffio. The worst.
I did so on Amazon. Everyone's ordering
You
up
told us
toilet
about the
paper and
day last night.
sanitizer, and I took the liberty to.
Oh,
No. I took the liberty of ordering a Nick Offerman Parks and Rec pop vinyl. That's
Oh,
what I
nice.
ordered during the coronavirus. That was my
I mean,
priority buy.
you gotta do what you gotta do. You can't take it with you, boys. If this is it, this is it.
Mm-mm.
I want Nick Offerman and Michael Scott with me. I already got the Michael Scott one in.
So what's
So-
There you
2020 got
I had to
around
get
the
it
corner
done.
for us? Because it's just been a great year so far, right? Top 12 of them.
You haven't seen that
Godzilla?
meme?
I know. Yeah.
No. April's gonna have
Oh, no,
Terminator.
I also saw Godzilla in the background of one.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I don't know what's
Godzilla
gonna
would be
happen.
dope, but not dope. At the
Well, if
same
you're
time.
very
But it would be
landlocked,
pretty
I think
sick.
you're okay with Godzilla.
Oh,
We're all pretty landlocked. Yeah.
very nice.
Okay, boys. Josh, you want to give us a FSA drop so we can get back on fantasy talk here?
Yes, so FSA, they just there's another broadcast last night. Brian's trying to lift everyone's spirits right now, as we're all trying to do, really. So go check out FSA-FR.com. You can sign up for Dynasty or Redraft. There's so many great things that they're doing this year. He asked for your hat size, your shirt size. I need to get with Brian and find out if is he kicking out shirts? Do you guys know? Have you
No.
guys talked to him? No, maybe
I
he's
haven't
kicking out
lately.
shirts and hats. He's just all over. This business is flourishing for him. I'm very excited for him. He's got a lot of great sponsors and bowl games. Please go check them out. FSA-FR.com. They're on Twitter, Instagram. If you're just looking to get into a league that's starting up for Dynasty, is right there. If you want to play with some of the best players across the world, this is where you're at. So check it out, fsa-fr.com. Love you, Brian. And then let's get back to the show.
All right. Yeah, that's FSA. I'm super excited. Our divisions are out there. I don't want to give anything away. You'll be on the show. But, man, it is looking good. We have free agency all over the place. I mean, so we were freaking out about everything that was going on. We are like, oh, we're going to have anything to talk about. What are we going to do the next show? And then literally the day after we get done, yes, you can have cookies, bud. Yes, you can have, yes. Yeah, go ahead. Literally the next day, not even 12 hours after, we post the show up, what comes out? Arizona trades David Johnson. And we're all like, oh, David Johnson's gone. Way to go, Arizona. Way to get out from underneath that contract. Yeah,
because that was the headline. The headline was David Johnson traded to Houston Texans. But they didn't say anything else besides that.
They're giving a second-round pick, too. Okay, we don't know what's coming back the other way. Maybe they'll keep some of the money back, and maybe they get Will Fuller or something. And what does good old Bob do? Good old Bill O'Brien? He says, you know what? I learned from Bill Belichick, we don't pay star players. Nuke, you want a new deal? We got you for 3 more years, but you want a new deal? You go on over to Arizona, and you go deal with that. And
he's just one of the best receivers in football.
Since we got rid of this Nuke and we didn't want to pay him, we'll take that whole David Johnson salary. Just give it here. We just want a draft pick, please. Anything, everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you own Nuke in fantasy football, and I said I'll give you David Johnson and a second in this year's draft, and you give me Nuke and a 4th, are you even entertaining that offer? Exactly.
No.
My Facebook was blowing up at people that were sending out that offer to everybody, the exact same offer that a real NFL team accepted.
Well, apparently they did it in a Madden simulation and it got rejected.
Yeah, of course.
So, pretty funny.
Well, David Johnson hasn't been himself for a couple years now. It was just a salary dump by Arizona, and then Bill O'Brien's like, well, why don't you take one of my best players? Would that be okay? And he's like, and they're like, oh, all
right, so let's talk about sure.
If you want
David Johnson on the Texans. Up, down, middle, the same value. What do you guys think? He's going to be – they still have Duke Johnson on. Carlos Hyde's gone, but Duke Johnson's still there, pass catching back. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be good for David Johnson. I mean, like you said, yeah, it's going to be good for him. He wasn't getting utilized in Arizona as soon as the whole Kenyon Drake thing happened, but I think you still have to temper your expectations because he's not – oh, my gosh, the face you're making is horrible.
Well, it's a pretty bad take, but –
No, it's not. You didn't let me finish. He's going to get the ball more than he was getting anyway, and Houston traditionally has run the ball pretty well, even with Lamar Miller, who's not a great running back, by the way. But so I'm not really worried about that. But health-wise, he's not going to – you can't expect to sit there and take David Johnson in the 4th or 5th round even. Like he needs to be your RB3
I was going to ask
or 4.
You, does he finish in the top 24 running backs next year, David Johnson?
I think it's possible, but you're talking about back end, like maybe 22. Like it's not going to be pretty.
Okay.
So
I disagree with everything Josh just said.
Okay. And then but the Texans go out there. No. They're like, look, we have a need at wide receiver now. We're going to go out there and we're going to sign one of these premium wide receivers out there on the market. Let's go get
stud
Randall Cobb, who I love because he played at Kentucky. So Randall Cobb, you're great. But what is he like? 45 now?
He was the 3rd receiver on the Cowboys.
He has big games.
That's what he should be, is a 3rd receiver. But he shouldn't be a 3rd receiver with Kenny Stills and Will Fuller and Kiki Kuti. So you could say, what, a 4th guy? A 4th receiver?
Do you think Kiki Kuti's done? Because Cobb is a slot guy, Kiki's a slot guy.
I mean, he's on the roster, but
the whole team's done. It doesn't matter.
If you woke up and if you were Deshaun Watson right now, what would you be doing?
Hey, I'd be on the phone with my agent.
Asking for a trade.
Taking the Busta game still when you have broken ribs? I don't think so.
I'm taking the Busta games because I don't want to be near the coach.
I have a bruised lung, but I'm going to play my butt off for you every week and drive to the games. But you know what? Let's waste two firsts and a second on Laramie Tunsil. So we got to pay him. Otherwise, we look stupid. And then we got to pay Deshaun down the road. So let's let one of the best receivers in football over the past 4 years, consistent year in and year out. Let's let him go.
All right.
Smart.
Let's look at how this affects
Super
Arizona, though. So they get DeAndre Hopkins, probably one of the top 2 wide receivers, if not top 3 wide receivers in the NFL, right? If you want to go 3, you can go 3, but he's up there, right? I'd say 2. Him and Michael Thomas, just depending on who gets targeted more, they're good. The thing with Nuke is he's always been hyper-targeted. Sure. Now he goes into a situation with Larry Fitzgerald, who is older, but he did sign another 1-year deal. He's still there. Mm-hmm. You got that whole bunch of young wide receivers they drafted last year. Christian Kirk's still there. I mean, he's still the number 1 premium guy there. And Andy Isabella. What do you think about?
Air raid, baby.
It is. He ran some of the most 4 wide receiver sets in the NFL last year.
You got to think the thing about Nuke is he's been successful with every quarterback except for Brock Osweiler. The guy has more receptions. He has the second most receptions of any player in his first 7 years in NFL history. So that tells you how good DeAndre Hopkins has been. And had not been for Brock Osweiler, he would probably be first. So I think that, and let's be honest, I mean, Kyler Murray is far more talented than Brock Osweiler.
I thought you were going to say Deshaun Watson.
So I think that.
I was
no. Deshaun's the man.
I like, whoa, hot takes are inbound.
No. But I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to be fine. If anything, this is going to hurt the other guys more than it's going to hurt him. DeAndre Hopkins he's a target machine.
He is, but we did see when Will Fuller and them were healthy that when his targets went down, his numbers went down. I think the good thing about this is that you have Christian Kirk and Andy Isabella to stretch the field, so Nuke doesn't have to be a straight stretch the field guy or a straight possession guy, which they were having to use him in the Texans a lot because Keke was hurt, so he had to do the underneath routes. He didn't get to do the big play wide receiver routes. Now he can run his X routes and be the X guy and can be the number 1.
I think because of their situation and the style of offense that Cliff Kingsbury, there we go. All I could think was Kirk Goldsberry, but that's the NBA guy for ESPN. Anyway, they're going to run a lot of 4 wide, and I don't remember what I was reading, but I think Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald both got over 100 targets last year. So they're going to spread the ball around. If they do run 4 wide receiver sets, Kyler Murray is going to go to the guy that's
even if
open.
They don't run 4 wide receivers.
Probably shorter, safer routes.
Do you think Nuke comes off the field? I don't see him coming off the field. Okay.
No, I'm not saying he's going to come off the field. Absolutely not. No. He is automatically the number 1 guy on any team he goes to except for the Saints. And then he would be 1B.
If you throw it anywhere in the vicinity of Larry Fitzgerald or DeAndre Hopkins, they're catching the ball. So.
Right.
And then
So Fitz is super sure-handed. So is Hop. And then you're going to spread the ball around, and that offensive line hasn't really gotten any better, so he's still going to need to get the ball out quickly. So I think it's going to hurt all of their values.
Yeah, it'll go. I think it'll go down. I don't think he'll be a number 1. I think he'll still be a top 5 wide receiver, but his days of being the number 1 guy, like Michael Thomas last year, who was just super over-targeted because he was the only guy there, DeAndre Hopkins being the only guy. All right, Arizona also tags Kenyon Drake. So now we have Drake in the mix again. And something I didn't really realize, so I started looking at Arizona last year. Whichever running back started for them, if you take their games together, David Johnson, even though he wasn't great, he was still borderline RB1 off usage and touchdowns and stuff like that, right? He was getting them. He wasn't perfectly great, but he was up there. Then you had the who was the other back up there? Chase Edmonds? Yeah, he was
Edmonds, yeah. He had 2 really good weeks, right?
Started, he was an RB1. And then we all know what Kenyon Drake did down the stretch. So, Kenyon Drake this year, do we like him? We taking him? 3rd round pick?
I
think Damian Williams was going in the 3rd last year.
He'll probably go there.
Took last year in the 3rd round. I'd rather have Kenyon Drake.
I think I mean, yeah, but I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more
You
than
can't
they
stack
did
the
last
box.
year. Now with the addition of no, you can't stack the box, but with the addition of Hopkins, you're going to have to throw the ball to keep those guys happy, especially him. So
But remember, they did just transition tag him. They didn't
That just means
franchise
they don't
him.
have to pay him
So
as much.
it's true.
there's a
And you can't
there's a
franchise
possibility
him
he could
because
still
you
get
just
signed
him.
away.
Franchise player has to be on your team for so many years. You can't just franchise a guy you just traded for. There's weird rules in the CBA. All right.
Well, I don't know.
True.
I haven't read the
I
new
know.
CBA. I haven't had a chance. Boom,
Yep.
got approved. 7 playoff teams per conference next year.
I thought that was
Yeah.
this year.
It's pretty crazy.
Oh, this coming.
Yes.
No, as early as
it's going to be 2021. There'll be 17
maybe
games,
as
but this year
early
they're
as
gonna start the
2021. There'll be
playoff.
17 games. That's not official yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Falcons.
Right.
They cut Devonta Freeman. They traded
Good call.
for Hayden
Yeah,
Hurst
very
because
good
they let Austin Hooper walk, and they went out and got Todd Gurley.
I kind of like that move.
1-year deal for is it 3-year deal? Oh, sorry,
The third. No, they
Oh.
got him the third. He's third.
$6 million. Only $6 million for Todd Gurley. Hey,
He's still
Hey.
getting 5 from the Rams. So
hey,
cool,
Bill
11
O'Brien,
million
you
for
probably
Todd
could have
this year.
afforded Todd Gurley there, bud. You could have kept DeAndre Hopkins. You wouldn't, but
You
they
coulda
wouldn't
got
have
a
got
good
a
running
second
back
round pick,
for,
guys. They wouldn't have got
yeah.
the second round pick.
He could have had
Oh,
Melvin
no.
Gordon. Like,
No, we'll get to Melvin Gordon.
Actually, he could have had Melvin Gordon for
Yeah.
about the same price as what David
All right,
Johnson
so
paid this year.
Falcons cutting
pretty
Devonta
fair.
Freeman. Do we think Devonta Freeman is going to get signed?
he'll be
No.
a backup. He'll be a backup.
So
Where?
the problem is, I kind of want to say this. We didn't talk about this earlier
Philly.
Pittsburgh.
because I talked about
Philly.
the blind
Oh.
dating of the NFL free agency right now. You're seeing a lot of players get signed by teams that somebody on the staff knows them, watched them play a lot in division games. Not a lot of guys with questionable, physicals. Todd Gurley's a little different, but again, he played at Georgia. He's got ties to the hometown there. There are reasons why, and it's only a 1-year deal. It's not like they signed him to a long-term deal. So a lot of these guys like Devonta Freeman and stuff like that have had these little nagging injuries, it's going to be hard for them to get them signed without the physicals. Now,
Being
you hear
able
what the
to
NFL
conduct
is doing to all the contracts that are getting signed. They are
They're putting
not,
coronavirus.
they're not coronavirus.
Yeah.
Just if they don't pass a physical, they could lose their signing bonus. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're calling it coronavirus language, but it's contract language for, hey, if you don't pass a physical, even though we signed you, because we can't actually do a
Lose your-
physical
your
yet,
signing bonus.
you'll lose
Which
your
is
money.
A lot of the money for these guys.
Yeah.
That makes them want to sign. All right. So
For
Todd
sure.
Gurley to Falcons. You guys like it?
I do. Yeah. I
No.
think Gurley's he's the best between the tackles running back they've had since Michael Turner. He's a good receiver.
Devonta
name a
Freeman's
better
second
one.
year
No, I'm just saying Michael
when he had
Turner.
like the 17 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So 1 year but Gurley's got a better pedigree than Freeman.
Freeman's got more knees.
I think he's just as good of a receiver out of the backfield. Yeah. And he doesn't have as many soft tissue injuries. Yes, I know he's got the arthritic knee, and they didn't use him very much in LA this year, but McVay did come out and was like, I was stupid. I should have used him more, and I did.
Yeah, but I think that was probably for multiple reasons. One, he was probably trying to protect Gurley and protect his value. Remember, they were trying to trade Gurley. There was I've heard some things so I was listening to radio today, and Colin Cowherd was like, yeah, he had heard where there were people inside the locker room where after he got the knee injury, he changed. He wasn't the same type of leader. He didn't put in the same kind of effort, and he was just a different guy because the knee wasn't there like it was before.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
say whatever
now
you want to.
Now he's got to play to get paid. So if you have Gurley on your team in a dynasty league this year, I think you're in great shape because you got Julio, you got Ridley, you got Gage. They can stretch the field. They can spread people out. Like the Rams line just wasn't getting it done this past year. Hopefully the Falcons have invested a lot in their line over the last couple of years. I think he's in good shape this year.
And the other
This
thing
year.
with Gurley is that it
Good
will
argument.
sell tickets because you get the Georgia fans who are going to get interested in the pro team because that's just how it works, man.
He's going to look good in black and red.
So Hayden Hurst, we talked about that because Austin Hooper walked. A lot of targets to soak up there. The 45-year-old third-year player.
Hooper was the second most targeted player on that
how
team.
does this affect?
So
So Calvin Ridley. If you look at Calvin Ridley's numbers when Austin Hooper went out, they skyrocketed. Now we're bringing another tight end in here. Hayden Hurst, I don't think he's not the pass catcher that Austin Hooper is, but he's still he's still going to be on the field. He's going to be blocking, and he can kind of do the all-around tight end things. Is this going to hurt Calvin Ridley's possible huge breakout? Because Julio's still there, and Julio's still going to draw his targets. And Matt Ryan's still going to close his eyes and throw it to Julio on a prayer.
That's all you got to do.
Just get it close to him. Him, Nuke,
it's weird.
and
Your best
Michael
wide
Thomas.
receiver,
Just
you
get it close.
to him to catch the ball. Odell Beckham, you get it close to him, he catches the ball.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he has to use his fingertips.
Unless he's got a
Cotton
hernia.
ones are close. Baker just can't get it close.
I know.
Do you think Hayden Hurst can fit in
What do you
as a
think,
top 10
Josh?
tight end? That's the question.
Yeah, that's an easy.
Is he going to be one of
threshold.
these guys that we're going to be
That's-
taking late in drafts, like 8, 9, 10, when all the primo tight ends are gone, and he's going to be one of those dudes you snatch up and grab?
I think he
he's a
will
good
because of the
option
upside. Yeah, the upside.
Okay.
Yeah, if he sees most of the targets that Hooper left there, I think he'll be easy
All right,
tight
you
end
guys
one.
ready to talk about the most exciting news of the sports week? Had everybody on edge. TB squared.
Oh,
Tom Brady, Tampa Bay.
TB to TB.
squared, baby.
Didn't
Eric,
put that together.
easy.
TB
Come on, dude.
squared. All right, down in Tampa Bay. So he didn't want to go to LA because he didn't want to be away from his son who's in school in New York, and it's only a 3-hour plane ride from Tampa. And right now there's nobody in the airport, so you can get to and from the airport. It's really easy.
Tom probably has a
You still got to
private-
go
Cheap
to
tickets
the airport
too,
to get
bud.
on the plane. Let's be honest.
He probably got an airplane in his backyard, though. He's fine.
So
Yeah, it's Giselle's stuff.
Chris Godwin wears the number 12. What number is Chris Godwin wearing next year?
He said Brady hasn't asked him about
okay.
it, so he's going to keep it.
No, he said he'd defer to
Well, he's
Brady on 12.
Okay,
If he
this
asks
is the
for it.
same as the LeBron James going to give Anthony Davis a 23, but because of marketing reasons, he can't. It's the same thing's going to happen.
Nobody
Tom-
should wear 23
whatever.
ever again.
Everybody
it should
should
be
wear 23.
retired
All
across the
numbers
board.
23. And if you're really bad, you
Yeah.
get 45.
Everyone.
I mean, he did drop 50 in Madison Square Garden with that number. But either way,
So, okay.
what are we talking
So,
about?
Chris
Tom
Godwin,
Brady.
Mike Evans, they're still top wide receivers. Which one do you like better, though?
Yeah.
Or is there another guy on this roster that we like better?
You want to go first, Josh?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I think Godwin is the better option because Brady's deep ball has fallen off over the years, and that's Mike Evans' bread and butter. But I'm excited for OJ Howard. I'm excited for him to have a QB that actually uses a tight end and can see him.
He's a big boy, too. It's
So
fine.
I think he is. I think Godwin and OJ Howard stand the most to benefit. I think you'll see Evans's numbers dip.
What about Scotty Miller?
Not a lot. He'll still be number one.
The white wide receiver on
Who?
Tampa Bay.
No.
Why haven't they resigned
So
Rashard
I
Perry?
think that's going to happen pretty soon, and that'll give them their two outside with Chris
I
Godwin
hope
in the
so.
middle. And it'll probably be the best weapons that Tom Brady's
Unless
ever
they get
had.
in.
Like all-together weapons.
Right?
Unless they get
Stiggy's
Antonio
Now, he did
Clown,
say he wants to
and
bring
then
Antonio
it'll
Brown
be fun.
Ugh, please don't. That's too many mouths to feed on that team. Then I mean, don't
Well-
get me wrong. You can't cover all.
Think
of them,
about
but
Antonio Brown, though. If there's a coach, if
can't
there was a
cover
coach in
all
the
of
NFL
them.
right now that could take the Antonio Brown antics and be able to handle them, is Bruce Arians the guy for it? In all honesty,
No, it was.
it wasn't Bill Belichick
It was Bill
because he's
Belichick.
no
That was-
nonsense.
if,
And
if Belichick couldn't
honestly,
do it,
if
I don't
Antonio
think
Brown
anybody
would have stayed
can.
there 2 or 3 weeks, he would have Facebook Live from the thing. He would have got cut on the spot. Bruce Arians can deal with the players. Like they talk about when he was in Arizona, he used to drink beers with the players after games and stuff.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they said that from what I heard that they don't have any interest in signing him. I think if they did, it would be on a very
No,
low,
and 100%.
low
It's just one of
salary
those things that
contract. But
they
they don't
don't
need him. They
they
don't.
have a
don't.
lot of
They really
options
don't.
there. But Brady did ask, he did supposedly he came out and said that let's look his way. And you got to see what kind of loopholes he's got to
Yeah.
jump through the NFL. Something we didn't bring up either is that Josh Gordon wants to play next year because marijuana can't get you banned anymore. But that poor guy, Martavis Bryant, they're
Hey-o.
grandfathered into the old rules, so they're still out of the
Yeah.
league indefinitely.
Did you see? Well, did you see where Josh
Yeah.
Gordon said he wants to play? He
Yeah.
wants to play in Seattle again.
Well, I would
Of course he
hope.
does.
I would
Of
hope
course.
they could appeal, and under the new rules that they would be like, yeah.
But is it one of
that's
those
fine,
things
you know?
that, okay,
Come on
cool,
back.
but you did break the rules we had?
Well, the sheriff's petty, and yes, he will hold them accountable for their past actions under the rules that they were subject to. So it won't happen. But you should
Duh.
let those guys
okay,
back.
so
in the
here's
league,
another
I
thing for
think.
Tampa Bay. Do they bring in Deion Lewis, who just got cut by the Titans? Has a history with Brady,
No.
Why?
passing down guy who can pass block very well. Ronald Jones' pass blocking has been very questionable. I'm just saying, we see that.
But they got Peyton Barber too.
Yes.
No, he's a free agent.
Oh, okay. I did not.
So
I
I'm
did
just
not
saying,
catch that.
keep an eye
Okay.
out for that, for them to throw him because he's going to be cheap and he's going to be easy to get, and they know each other.
Sure. It'd be good to have somebody there.
Because
just in
I
case
think that Tom
Rojo
Brady
gets
is going to
hurt.
want to implement
they
some
could
of the
always
offense
reload
that he
the
had
draft.
before, and he's going to have to bring in some of the players.
Of
Yeah.
course he is. And those are two really opposite end of the spectrum offensive mindsets, right? Arians likes to bomb it out. And then you got Brady who likes the short,
Yeah, but Arians also
accurate,
doesn't like you throwing
7
30
yards,
interceptions,
7
bombing
yards,
it
7
out.
yards.
And Tom Brady
Well,
has
no,
thrown
of course not. But
only double-digit interceptions only 3 times in the past 10 years. So
He's
Right.
in the last 4 years he's thrown 29.
Brady
So-
also doesn't throw a very good deep ball anymore either. So
Yeah, it's not as good as it was, but I mean, you're still thinking he's still got. It's better than a lot of other quarterbacks in the
All right.
NFL. We're talking. He's at
it
least
is, but we'll see what kind of chemistry they can get together with
They might
all
bring
the
in-
stuff
hey,
going on and
they
not being
might
able
even
to
bring
practice
in
together.
Devonta Freeman.
That's gonna be
Honestly,
tough.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another veteran.
That's a good option. That's a good option.
maybe they
They
get
can
Royce
get that
Freeman.
too. But I think they want a veteran guy who
Okay.
can pass block and can pick up like 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, Devontae Freeman and honestly, sign them both. If you can get them cheap
And
enough, sign them both. Because Devontae
We'll see what they
Freeman
know.
will
That's
probably
why,
get
as
hurt.
a Ronald Jones
So-
owner in a dynasty league, I am very weary of what's going to happen here. It's either he's going to either learn this offense or
Yeah.
he ain't going to play, because Brady ain't going to care.
They're gonna.
Brady will tell him to go take a bench before
Yeah, or
Arians can.
they might.
Yeah.
They're gonna
And
end up
then
drafting
this-
some more defense. This is a good team. This is gonna be a good team, boys.
It gives them a ton of flexibility for
But
the
they
defensive
are
side of the ball
100%
for the
win
draft
now, 'cause
too.
Brady's only got 2 years, and it's all about the now.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But I mean, they're pretty much set at offense. Maybe fill in if they have some blanks at the offensive line positions, fill those in the first 2 rounds, and then load up on defense because they were number 1 against the run last year. They just need to kind of shore up that back end, and they'll be
All right,
in great
so-
shape.
Nuke kind of set the price point of what wide receivers were drawing in the market out there. So another wide receiver was traded. And since Nuke went for David Johnson in a second, this other guy went for a first, a fifth, and a sixth. His name is Stephon Diggs.
Makes sense.
The Bills went out and got him. So Josh Allen has probably the best wide receiver he's had since he's been in the NFL. You guys agree?
Smoke? Yeah, of course.
He's better than Smoke, but Diggs is still a 2 at best, like a fast.
Thank you.
But he gets
Thank
separation.
you. Thank you. I don't care. Thank you, Eric.
He
Thank
does, but
He's horrible. He's a
Who's
locker
a
room
locker room
I
cancer?
care less about Stephon Diggs. I could care less about that guy. Forget
He's a
him.
locker room cancer.
all that aside, when he was
Right,
the
baby.
no kidding number 1 option when Thielen got hurt, he didn't do anything. He had 1 big game all year, really. I think 2 maybe. I don't think it's really great.
I think
for them.
it's good for
But-
Josh Allen. It gives him another good And if they
Oh,
have
yeah.
smoke
It's
stays
good
there.
for Josh Allen. It is not good
So you
for
have John
Stephon
Brown
Diggs.
going deep. You have Stephon Diggs doing kind of whatever, and you got Cole Beasley still running around the slot like a weirdo.
The Beasles.
Yeah, he'll run those intermediate routes. But man, he's going to get covered like a number one, and he's
Yeah, but
he's
you
not
guys
a number
remember
one.
when he
I've
played
never
with Case
been that
Keenum?
high on
Maybe it's just
Diggs.
Kirk Cousins.
Maybe, man, but
It could be.
he
But you
was
got to
super
remember,
accurate. Say what
Josh
you want
Allen,
about
But
Kirk
he
Cousins.
doesn't take any
super accurate.
chances. Josh
And
Allen
Josh
takes
Allen
some
is
chances,
not-
boys.
That's
Yeah,
true,
'cause-
but he should be taking those shots to
Oh,
smoke
take it to
down
Diggs.
the field.
Diggs did win a playoff game by them taking a shot to him. Ask the Saints all about it.
That's like his only. I know, but
It's true.
I mean, that was a great play. Don't get me wrong, but like he really hasn't shown you anything since then, other than that one big
Deion
big
Branch
game
only
last
showed
year.
his stuff in big games. He won Super Bowl MVPs.
Yeah, but
I'm
he was
just, I'm
Patriot.
just saying, man.
And then he did nothing.
The AFC East is wide
Yeah.
open.
I mean, maybe
the
it's
last
maybe
time,
it's a good.
The last time the
Okay.
Patriots didn't win it, Tom Brady wasn't the starting quarterback. So the AFC East is wide open.
Maybe it's a good fit for Stephon Diggs initially, but if stuff starts to go wrong, if Allen's not targeting him enough, he's gonna cry about it, and then everything's
I
gonna
don't
start
think
to
so. I
snowball,
think
just
he's
like it did
gotta-
in Minnesota.
I don't believe that's true.
I think it will. I think
He's
it
not
will.
going to be on a team
agree
that's
with
going to
her
run the ball
100%.
78 to 80% of the time of the game, like they did.
I mean, Josh
He does.
Allen does run
All right.
a lot.
So then let's move on to the Steelers. Got him a new tight end, Eric Ebron.
Oh, Big E.
Yeah.
Do we care? Do we
He
care?
catches like this.
I'm kind of excited about this.
Okay, so do you want Eric
because Big Ben
Eric
will target
Ebron-
his tight ends. So
or Hayden Hurst?
Ebron.
Big Ben's back. I'm gonna say Big Ben's back and healthy and plays the whole season
where did Hurst
Hot
again
Atlanta.
go again?
Atlanta.
Oh right.
with Ludacris.
Hooper did get a lot of red zone targets. I like Hurst.
No, you got to remember. You remember the tight end between Austin Hooper and Tony
No.
Gonzalez?
Do you
Do you remember? Yeah,
No.
it was
no,
Levine
do you
Toilolo.
remember any Steelers tight ends?
He's a
Vance
jag.
McDonald, because we like making fun
Right?
of him.
Yeah, Heath Miller.
Who else?
Yeah, Vance
Miller.
Vance.
You,
No,
you weren't
Miller.
starting Heath Miller.
That
And you
was
weren't
a
starting
long
Heath
time
Miller.
ago.
I'm just saying. He was there.
Yeah, you weren't.
But
You
I'm
asked
just
me if I
saying, like, we
remembered him.
weren't starting
I
these
remember.
guys. They're run blockers.
But he was never like, oh, he blew up. he
Big
was the
Ben
top
is
3
going
tight
deep,
end.
boys. He don't check it down for nothing. He won his rings, and he
No.
don't care no more.
We'll see how that elbow.
He'll still
holds
sling
up.
it down there. He was doing it.
Says the best it's felt in years.
Oh, the best it's felt in
All right.
years, huh? Okay.
And
That
he looks
homeless
So
like
beard
the
says otherwise.
Seahawks have
Yeah,
Will Disley
that's
coming
true.
back. They put a tender on the Hollister man himself, and they also went out and signed Greg Olson.
smart.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. They should have
So
traded
the one thing
of
I will
those
say
guys.
with that,
They should have
Hollister
traded either Disley
and
or
Will Disley especially has injury history. You can't just be like, he's going to play 16 games. He has
Right.
yet to do it in his career, and he's had
no. That's what I'm saying. You capitalize on the hype and move him, and then keep Hollister.
But they can
'cause
have
he's-
Hollister
he's
for
healthy.
depth. They have
and he's still good.
Olsen, who even if he's not going to be the Olsen of old, but in this offense where they predicated on run first, he can still pass block. He still knows where to be.
He does. I thought it was odd.
They're going to
I
run a
thought
lot
it
of
was
two.
really odd.
They're going
to why
to
why
run a
carry
lot of
3
two tight
tight
end
ends
sets.
with the 2 younger guys probably. Okay, yeah, I guess if Disley's hurt, sure, but it's not like Olsen is the spitting image of health.
And then
Mm.
the most recent
Yeah.
news we had, Josh, the Saints went out and got somebody. You want to talk about this?
Your
Yeah.
boy, yeah,
They went out and got Manny Sandys.
I love it.
16 million, 2-year deal. Now this is great news for Michael Thomas and for it's great news for him. And I'll tell you why. Is because Emmanuel Sanders, he has the name value and he demands attention. Michael Thomas is already a stud receiver. We know that. It's not a question. Well, he gets hyper targeted. However, now he has someone else to help take away attention from him. So even when he is getting double covered and still getting separation, now they have Emmanuel Sanders in the slot to look at and say, wow, I don't know if we can actually double coverage him because we have another guy to actually worry about now. This is great news for them. I absolutely love the signing. And the NFC South might be my most exciting division to watch this year. Teddy B's out there. We haven't even gotten to that yet. But TB12, Manny Sandy. I mean, I'm looking forward to the NFC South. Those Tampa Bay and New Orleans Saints games are going to be like 45, 48 games. They're going to be ridiculous.
We
Can't
hope
wait.
they are. I don't have the same hype as you do for Michael Thomas because the reason he was the number one was straight PPR, straight being the most targeted wide receiver, getting the most catches. And that's why he was destroying all these other wide receivers. If you're telling me somebody else is going to come in there and draw 150 targets from him, that's just going to kill his value. Michael Thomas has never been a touchdown machine. It's been straight purely on the catches.
What's going to kill his value is his texting
Nobody
fingers on
cares.
Twitter. That's what's going to kill his value.
Who
Idiot
cares?
can't stay
Who
off Twitter.
cares?
I
If they go on
think
Twitter.
I think Thomas will still get enough targets to still be easily be
Easily
a top three guy.
but not easily.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Sanders
Before
actually.
this, though, he was the number one guy, right?
think-
Hands down. And so you
sure.
rolled it.
Well, him
He's still
and
gonna
Nuke, yeah, 1A, 1B. But I think it actually hurts Jared Cook and Alvin Kamara more. Because he's probably going to, in the slot, he's probably going to run those more intermediate routes that Cook was getting last year. And there was nobody to take them away from him other than Taysom Hill, the vulture that he is. But, yeah, I think that's what's going to hurt on that team.
It's like a liquor store during the coronavirus. It's recession proof. Michael Thomas is going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I just worry if Drew Brees gets hurt again. Like, there's Taysom Hill. You don't have
Speaking of Teddy
anymore.
B,
Good
look at
luck.
that segue.
Godspeed.
We were rolling right over there to the Panthers. They go out and sign Teddy Bridgewater. Was a 3-year deal with some decent.
3 years, 60, I think.
63 million.
Yeah,
21
it's
million.
actually
you,
not
Teddy.
huge money
Good for
when you
you.
actually look at it compared to other players.
It's not.
But what this means is they pretty much told Cam Newton, you can go look for your own trade deal, man. Figure out what you want to do. So Teddy Bridgewater there, when he started for the Saints last year, he he averaged the least amount of yards per completion.
Yep.
So
Check down Teddy.
how do we feel about DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel? Because these are guys that were stretching the field. Yes, it was with other quarterbacks who were just saying, I ain't playing for nothing. Let me slow it down here. Downgrade, upgrade, lateral move. We know Christian McCaffrey's going to be fine. Christian McCaffrey's fine. I'm not worried about that. It doesn't change anything there.
Yeah. Yeah, the only concerns for McCaffrey is the workload he had this past year. But I think Samuel and Moore benefit from a more accurate passer. I think they'll be able to do more with the run after the catch because they'll be in better positions. I mean, they've been working with Cam Newton, whose accuracy has always been questioned. And then
Kyle
Allen. Obviously, he's always going to be a backup. Like, he looked okay for a couple games and then fell off pretty hard after people had some tape on him. So I think just Bridgewater's ability to move around in the pocket and then his accuracy, because he looked great with the Saints last year, and he was accurate with the Vikings before he got hurt. Vikings, right?
Yeah, and you got to remember, he has a very smart offensive-minded coach and offensive coordinator. Matt Rule, he came from Baylor. He made his money on culture change because he's a big culture guy, and with his offense, the fact that he turned teams around. So
I was going to say,
What are you doing?
he was also a
What are
coach
you
of the
doing?
Saints where he coached Teddy Bridgewater. Weird.
yeah, the offensive coordinator was
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like, it's going to look bad at first because you got to remember a lot of these guys are not going to get any OTAs in based on the coronavirus. So it's going to look really bad at first, really, really bad. But then I think towards the middle of the season, Teddy B is going to be a guy he might win you a title this year, if you get him late.
So,
Just saying.
Wait, DJ Moore
I
was
really
the wide
wanted him to go
receiver
to the
one
Bears
last
so
year.
we could call him Teddy Bear.
Is he a wide
Mhm.
receiver 1 again next year? Are we drafting him as 1?
Yes. Nope.
If we get good,
no.
if we
He'll
Just
be
because
one.
if they install a new
we
offense, I
see-
don't like that. Because with the
if we see
truncated
good things out
timetable.
of Big Ben, would you rather have Juju or DJ Moore? If I told you
DJ
get a
Moore.
healthy Big Ben for, I can't say 16 games because there's no way he's playing 16, but you get him for 13 games.
Juju, 100%.
I don't trust Juju to actually get separation and make plays. DJ Moore.
100% Juju. Juju on them
All
beats.
right. The Bears went out. The
All
Bears
he
went out and
catches
made
is
moves,
98 yards.
boys. They signed Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, good for them.
I don't know why.
They did.
Jimmy Graham's
Makes
just
no sense.
living on those strings of being a Saint.
Yeah,
and then they went out and traded for Nick
The
Foles.
tight end carousel.
They ate that Nick Foles contract. They said, let's push
He did.
Mitchell Trubisky. Does Nick Foles start the season for the Bears? And since he will, what week does he take over the starting job? Eric?
What week does Nick
Yes.
Foles take over the starting job? I mean, oh,
Is that week 3 of the preseason, Josh?
I week 3. You mean right? The last preseason game now. Yeah, I'd say probably game 4. I bet Trubisky's probably on a real short leash at this point, given all the money and weapons that they've
Allen
given
Robinson
him
is like,
to try and help him
God,
out.
'cause he's seen
So.
what Alshon Jeffrey did with Nick Foles. No, look what Alshon
Is
Jeffrey
he though?
did. Look what even DJ Chark did when Nick Foles started. He was catching touchdowns. The number 1, Nick Foles will sling it to the number 1. You open, you ain't open. I'm slinging it your
He
way,
will.
boys.
But outside
Yeah.
of Philly, and that really small sample size in Jacksonville, he's not good.
I disagree. He threw 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions one year with Philly when he took over for Michael Vick. And
Right.
that was a different
Okay.
coaching staff.
But that's what I'm saying. Outside of Philly and that really small sample size in Jacksonville, he's historically not good. Philly,
I'm sorry,
great.
He wasn't good for Jeff Fisher when St. Louis. I'm sorry. Well, no one's good for Jeff Fisher in St. Louis.
Well,
That's true.
What did he do? What happened to him this year? Broke his collarbone? Was that what happened?
Yeah, he was
Let's move on because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Bengals tagged AJ Green. Don't really care. Cool. We figured it was going to happen. Browns, though. Browns. Austin Hooper, highest paid tight end ever. They put a second-round tender on Kareem Hunt.
Makes no
and
sense.
guess what? They got him a backup quarterback to push Baker Mayfield. They brought the case in there. Case of Corona Keenum.
They do.
Um,
Their
Yeah,
best
he's
free
a-
agent move was signing that.
that was, but we don't talk about that here. The Austin Hooper thing.
Yeah, I know it's not fancy.
So
It's
with
kind
Austin
of fancy
Hooper-
growth.
Kevin Stefanski ran the most 12 personnel, which means he had 2 tight ends on the field out of anybody in the NFL last year when he was the coach for the Minnesota Vikings. And now he's got Nick Chubb. He's got
To
Kareem
block.
Hunt. He's going to do a lot of 2 tight end sets probably with David Njoku if they don't move David Njoku, which they really have no reason to move David Njoku right now. Yep, he's
No, they
cheap,
don't.
and there's
Cheap
no
talent.
Keep him
value for
around.
him because he was hurt all last year.
Because Baker got him killed.
So I see a lot of 2 tight end sets. I see a lot of moving the wide receivers around, moving Kareem Hunt around, moving the running backs around. They can do a lot of things with this offense.
Including pound the rock with Nick Chubb.
All right,
love
them
that.
boys. Exclusive franchise tag, which I don't know the difference between an exclusive franchise tag and a franchise tag, but ESPN they kept throwing it at me.
Exclusive franchise tag means that no other team can negotiate with
Well, that
him.
means $30 to
Period.
$33 million for this year.
Well, what does the franchise tag mean then?
I guess other teams can negotiate with him, but he's
So he
tagged.
can't leave.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
it's-
think.
I don't
I
really-
don't think that's
it's
much
weird.
different. But it's $30 to $33 million for a quarterback.
I don't
So
think it is either.
wolf, but it's still cheaper than the $48 million
Sure
he
is.
wanted a year. He's Joe Flacco in it, betting on himself. They also, with the money, they got Zeke to restructure his contract so they could sign Amari Cooper. So
Shocking.
Amari Cooper is gonna be there. How many years was it, Eric?
5 years, 100 million, I think. 4 years, 100 million. 60 guaranteed. Josh, I think, is looking it up right now.
No. It was 5 years, $100 million. I don't know the exact numbers, and I thought they were clean numbers. They were like
it's like 100 million total, 60 million guaranteed, 5 years. Like
and it's like 20 million a year.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Cowboys offense,
they
stays
front
pretty much
loaded
the
it.
same. Not really much change. Jason Witten did go away. We'll
Sure.
talk about where he goes. Blake Jarwin they re-signed. You guys excited at all for Blake Jarwin? Could he be like Jason Witten, a borderline tight end? One
No.
that's just not.
No.
He never. You never want to
mean, he
start.
was with
never
Witten in
wanted
front of him
starting,
last
but when you
year,
look
so.
at the stuff at the end of the year, you're like, whoa, hey, look at this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's not. If you don't want to take a tight end early, or you're hurting for somebody after
All
the
right.
draft, yeah,
Josh,
grab him up.
Broncos, baby. We got rid of one running back. Let's just bring another one in. Do they? Ron,
Why?
did they get
Team's
rid of
bad.
Booker, or is he technically still on the?
No, he's
Okay.
No, he's
So they,
he's gone. Him
Yeah,
and
Royce
Freeman are
Freeman
both
not.
gone.
no.
It's
Royce
only,
Freeman's
what,
still
third?
there, but they're gonna.
I thought they moved on from him.
This is his third year. They're gonna trade him probably now because we paid $16 million for Melvin
Whoop, whoop.
Gordon.
which is still less guaranteed money than Austin
Which-
Eckler got, boys.
What's it
Yeah.
like to have two really injury-prone running backs on your team?
So my thing is like I'm looking at John Elway. I'm like, you good friends with Bill O'Brien? Are you
It
good
wasn't a
friends with him?
quarterback he made the mistake
Because
on
all
this
these
year,
good free agents.
though. Yet.
Yeah, no, he got
Not
that.
yet.
He
The draft's
cut-
still coming.
He cut Flacco, so he
Cam's
did get
tall.
that right so far.
Justin Herbert's like
Cam's
6'6".
tall too. Cam's
He's
a big
probably
boy.
gonna draft him.
Josh, Josh would love it.
Ooh.
No, I think he saw what happened in that Super Bowl, and he's like, I don't want to deal with that.
I
No,
mean,
Cam did too, and
he
he's going to
paid,
Kevin Durant. Can't beat him, join him.
there you go.
Oh, that's what Kevin Durant did with the coronavirus. Hey,
Oh, the memes. But he paid. Who's the big tall guy that went to Houston after
Osweiler.
Denver? Brock
Brock.
Osweiler. Yeah, he paid him. I mean, hell,
Paxton Lynch.
yeah,
he gets all the tall guys, but he's not.
Yeah.
gonna
Melvin
get-
Gordon, though.
he'll get Cam. Don't worry.
Is he going to be anything? Is it still Philip Lindsay's job? Is it Melvin Gordon's job?
I mean,
Is it going to be a terrible two-headed monster that we don't want to deal with?
yes, that's the one. I think that's what it's going to be. They're going to obviously give Melvin Gordon the ball because they're paying him, and they're going to give Philip Lindsay the ball because he's still cheap. I think what they're worried about is Philip Lindsay being the size that he is, him breaking down, and they want to be able to utilize two running backs. This is going to be a two-headed monster that I want nothing to do with. Because Melvin Gordon, yes, very, very talented. The problem is so Philip Lindsay, and they're just going to interchange those guys like they have been before, and neither one of them are going to be
This is
great.
Philip Lindsay's
for
last
fantasy.
year on his deal, right?
And if you had
because
Royce
he was a
Freeman,
late-round pick, so he only 3 years.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't even a pick.
Undrafted.
Remember, he was a free agent.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the last year of his deal.
and if you guys were holding out for Royce Freeman to eventually get his shot,
Well,
it ain't gonna be
with
this year.
Broncos.
So, no, it certainly ain't.
All right. Indianapolis Colts went out and got himself a quarterback. They got Phillip Rivers. Is this really an upgrade for from Jacoby Brissett?
No, I don't think so.
I don't like the fit here with
I
the
don't think
Colts.
it is at
Everybody's
all.
like, "Oh, it's a great fit." I'm like, but is it? Because Ty is not really he's
not.
not a Keenan Allen. He's more of a burner. And Phillip Rivers was great at that 5 years ago. His deep ball accuracy is not good.
Right.
You want to talk about Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers has fell off hardcore. He can't even be around his whole family because you can't have 10 people in a room right now. So his whole family's got to separate. Good thing he's got a big old house.
That's true.
So-
Man, that's awesome. Yeah,
Jack Doyle,
I don't
though.
love the fit here.
Jack
and now
Doyle.
that's what I was going to bring up. At least Jack Doyle will see a lot of targets because T.Y. Hilton will probably get hurt at some point.
What about Paris Campbell?
Paris Campbell.
So
I don't know
Paris
what to make of
Campbell
that
could be this
situation right
Keenan
now.
Allen guy.
He's kind of
He
a
could be that guy.
Keenan Allen,
Well,
real
we don't
like
know because
Keenan
Keenan
Allen.
Allen wasn't Keenan Allen until he was Keenan Allen. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't gonna be Keenan Allen next year with Tyrod. That's
I
for
don't
sure.
know, man. Tyrod,
He might-
all he does is
PPR, man. All he's got to do is catch the ball. It could be 100 catches
you
for
want
300
Teddy
yards as long as he catches the
Bridgewater
ball,
or
right?
Phillip Rivers in your draft next year in the 12th round.
Teddy.
He's got a better
Raiders went
receiving
out
core.
and got themselves a backup quarterback. John Gruden loves this guy. Let me tell you about this guy. Knock on wood if you're with me. Marcus Mariota, baby. Anytime I see Marcus Mariota, I just think of the Monday Night Football game. I'm pretty sure Gruden was doing it, where it had him surfing because he's from Hawaii on different things, and a shark would come up and eat it, and he'd get knocked to a different surfboard for all the different offensive coordinators. Because that's what's wrong with Monday Night Football. Isn't the commentators? It's the stupid graphics they show up that I don't care about. Because we can do this animation. Who cares? You're not Cartoon Network. Okay, so Marcus Mariota, does he take Derek Carr's job? He's just he's no, Derek Carr. He's the same. They're the same person.
As I read on, I think ESPN, he'll be a nice addition to their IR, or heard on a podcast. He'll be a nice addition to their injured reserve.
That makes sense.
Can he feel the ball yet?
I don't know.
He can? Are we sure?
I do know they got him another coach on the field, though. They brought in Jason Witten.
Jay Witt, baby.
Jay Witt.
Another Cowboy that should never be anything else.
For Darren Waller. There were already these young tight ends taking touchdowns from Darren Waller. And if Jason Witten's he's going to be in there on the red zone, they're not going to play him between the 20s. They're going to play him in the red zone once they get down inside the 20s. They're not going to play him in midfield because he's not going to break off anything big. They're going to have him down in there for run blocking, play action passes, and all that fun stuff that Jason Witten will get dirty doing.
Do you think maybe they're going to run two tight end sets with him
Waller will get
to try and work out a 12 personnel? But I mean all the time on the field, not just inside the 20s. I think that's what they want to do philosophically, like the whole game, because that sets up Jacobs, who they don't throw to, and it gives them another option in the middle of the field.
With Witten's age and him not going to be able to play as much, I think they're going to try to limit where he's at on the field, especially with the young tight ends they have.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. Gruden doesn't know what he's doing, so.
Well, we're going to remember Witten's for blocking. That's
what I'm saying. He's going to be blocking, blocker, and then in the play action on the red zone where he's going to block and then roll out.
He can still catch it and fall down.
7 yards. What was he? Tight end 9 last year? Tight end 10?
He had the worst. Yeah, he was 10.
And
it's a low bar.
Worst yards after contact.
But that was with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup. And the Raiders don't have a wide receiver that good on their whole team.
Yeah, they sure don't. Tyrell Williams, why?
All right, we got 2 more teams to talk about. We got the Dolphins, but baby, going out and got the running back of the future, Jordan Howard. Speaking of can't catch the ball.
Oh, yeah,
what a terrible signing.
Is it though? It's better than what they had.
Don't worry.
Then why
waste the Patrick Liard? They got because
they have to
spend
the money
out the wazoo.
Well, I know they do, but you still have
the cap. You also got the floor. You got to be above the floor in the NFL.
Well, you got the floor. I understand.
You talking about Kalen Ballage?
Yeah, they got
Ballage. He couldn't average 1 yard a carry. Yeah, Kalen Ballage.
So he's there. You're gonna draft somebody. Why get somebody on the cheap? Go get Todd Gurley for $6 million.
They'll probably draft.
Why would you sign Howard for 10?
This is going to be Jordan Howard's role from now on. He's going to be the guy. Now, with Jordan Howard leaving Philadelphia, do you think they give the keys to Miles Sanders, or are they going to bring another guy in to be? Yeah. We've never seen who's the coach of the Eagles? He's never ran Peterson. One exclusive.
Yeah, he does.
He's a big committee guy.
He hasn't really had a guy like Sanders that can do all of it, though. He can be I think he can be a 3-down.
He was in Kansas City under Andy Reid, right?
I agree. Doug Peterson?
Yes, he is on the Andy Reid tree.
Back then, too.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Was he under? He might have been under him in Philly. I don't remember.
He's under Andy Reid. I know. I just can't remember if he was Kansas City or Philadelphia. But either way,
tomato.
Any value for Jordan Howard? Maybe a bye week fill-in guy every now and then.
No, he's gonna be a solid RB2. Solid.
You think so? I think maybe in standard he's got a shot, but I wouldn't touch him in PPR.
Yeah, right. Solid RB2. He's gonna be just fine.
The Giants brought them in a veteran quarterback, Colt McCoy, baby. He's back. Colt McCoy.
Next. I love Colt McCoy, man.
Next.
I wish Cleveland had stuck with him, but
Colt McCoy with the Giants. Not really much. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other big news I missed? We talked about a lot of teams. We talked about a lot of players, a lot of moves, a lot of shaking.
I think you got it. Oh, yeah. Movers and shakers.
Movers and shakers.
That's what the segment was called last year. I forgot about that. Movers and shakers.
I think we covered all the big the big stuff. I just want to circle back to
ahead.
David Johnson real quick. Because I said I disagreed with everything Josh said, and I still do. With his back injury, which we don't know the status of that being good, we look at what J.J. Watt did after he injured his back. He hasn't had a healthy season yet.
I forgot the Steelers signed Derek Watt, and now they're having the 2 Watt brothers try to get J.J. to come to the Steelers.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Well, Bill O'Brien will get him up for a bag of chips.
That's what
he probably will. He probably will. So, yeah, I think DJ is going to be – he's in a similar offensive line situation. He's got a better quarterback in Deshaun Watson, but now their receiving core is just awful because Will Fuller the fifth's always hurt, and then the other two are whatever, league average, yeah, at best. So I think he's in a much worse situation. Duke Johnson is basically him. So in terms of skill set, so I don't like anything about David Johnson going to Houston. So if you got him on Dynasty, I'd try to move him if you can. I doubt you can now, though.
What are you guys most excited about? What was your favorite signing that got you the most excited for fantasy relevant? Was it Tom Brady? Do you guys think Tom Brady throws 30 touchdown passes this year?
Yeah.
Probably. He'll have a better shot than he ever has since he had Moss in 2007. I mean, the weapons he's got, he's never had anything close to that on the Patriots.
I think Randy Moss is still above all the guys he has, but.
Oh, yes. Head and shoulders above, even above Mike Evans. He was a monster that year. But other than him and Gronk, he's never had the weapons he's got now with these guys. So if he can get his deep ball going a little bit again, find that mojo again, he's going to be ridiculous.
Let me give you guys for the past. I'll go 10 years. Tom Brady's touchdown totals. 2009 he had 28. 2010 was 36. Then 2011 39. 2012 34. We all know what was going on then. Deflategate. Then we had 25, 33, 36, 28, 32, 29, and even last year with no weapons at all, he had 24.
Yeah, he's going to throw 30. Easy.
Probably.
Does he flirt with his own record of 39?
No, his record's
his own record of 39. Yeah, he threw 50.
No, he's not gonna.
Well, can he get in the 40s?
No, I don't think he's that guy anymore.
Sure. If they don't add,
in the 40s they don't have a running game to
punch it in.
I think we're looking at 35. 35 is probably. That's what I'm saying.
I like 40. I'll do a pie bet on 40, which I still need to do.
He's the worst. Josh, what are you most excited about? Melvin Gordon?
Literally?
Melvin Gordon. Josh, super excited.
No, I'm most excited about Emmanuel Sanders. I'm excited to see how that's going to play out in New Orleans. Yeah, I am.
I like that. I'm probably the highest on Gurley. I think Gurley going to Atlanta is a really good move. I think if you've got him in fantasy this year, you're going to be happy about that. And you'll probably get him cheap this year in a redraft.
You didn't like the Witten to Vegas move? Right?
I feel the same way about Jason Witten as I do Emmitt Smith. He should have never been anything but a Cowboy, and it makes me sad that he is.
To bring a little Jesus life, a little Christianity into the Vegas Sin City?
I hope not.
He was the one that called out. Who was that dude that beat the crap out of the chick? Like, he was the one who spoke out about that. Didn't think he should. Yeah.
Greg Hardy.
You have to be more specific. Well, that happens a lot.
He talked out about Greg Hardy and said he didn't want to share a locker room. Like, I mean, I think they're just trying to save face because, like, we got Darren Waller here, who's had a history, and now we're taking him to Vegas.
That's not what it is. But anyway,
is there anybody? Oh, so we talked about who got signed. Let's talk about who hasn't been signed yet, real quickly. So, Jameis Winston.
Back up.
Actually, let's talk about it. Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, and Cam Newton. Where are they going?
Cam's going to Washington. Okay. That's easy. He's going to.
That makes the most sense.
Andy will.
To the Patriots?
He'll get traded because they're going to. I don't see them doing that because they're still on the books with Tom for 13 this year. Even though he's gone, he's still a $13 million cap hit. Yes,
I
he
didn't
is.
know that.
Yes. So, and Andy Dalton carries about a $20 million cap hit. So I don't see them paying $33 for them.
What if the
33
Bengals
million
take some of the money?
for
What if the Bengals eat some of
quarterback?
the money? Which they could do because the Bengals have some money to eat.
Yeah, they could. I don't see him doing that, but
I think he's going to be. He might be a giant, maybe.
I think what Colt
I think
McCoy
that's a
kind of pushes
possibility.
that out of the way.
yeah,
We're
that makes sense.
running out of
they,
spots.
They were
for these
actually
guys
pretty
to
happy
fall.
with
the rookie class coming in. We're
yeah.
Chargers.
Andy Dalton to the Chargers. I don't see them taking
Why
$20
not?
million on that when they already got
They're not
Tyrod
paying-
Taylor.
I am
the Spanos
really
family.
Thinking about taking
surprised
Tua.
that they are. I'm really surprised that Gruden hasn't jumped on any of
took
these guys
Mariota.
yet.
He got him one. Yeah, he got him one.
Mariota, but Mariota's not like a real like tried and true veteran starter. Like
He can fix him.
He doesn't want his
No.
veteran. He doesn't want his team to
No.
be great yet. He's easing into it. He don't need a contract right now. He's got his contract right now.
what's he want?
About
Trevor
5 or
Lawrence?
6 more years from now, he'll worry about getting the veteran to win to get a new contract. You don't win now when you're on a 10-year, $100 million deal, boys. Yes. It's
I
a
can't believe they
long
gave him that much
play,
money.
baby.
I forgot
Um,
about that.
Jameis Winston, though,
But,
is he gonna like what job is he getting? Honestly.
I think him and Andy will be back up somewhere.
Jameis ain't gonna take I don't know if he's gonna take a backup role.
Who's Buffalo's
Jameis
backup?
ain't going there. Because he ain't gonna pay
Why
Mike
not?
John.
It's too cold.
He's gonna
Jameis
go wherever
Winston
he gets
threw
paid.
for 30 touchdowns and all them yards, boys. He balled out. He balled out. He ate a
He did.
W.
And
He
got
was
LASIK.
7-9 eating W's.
And he got a LASIK.
So Pittsburgh still desperately needs a backup quarterback. I think they'll wait to see how the draft shakes out, but they have to sign one of these guys with Ben in his situation. They have to. Because those guys behind him are just awful. So I think you'll see Dalton or Winston go to the
could he
Steelers.
end up-
and
hey,
then
maybe.
like
Could one of these guys
Josh
end
said.
up in Detroit? There's been rumblings that Stafford wants out. He's upset with the way things are being handled up there.
I see these guys like Dalton is a guy to me that might fit in perfectly like in Philly.
that's a
you
good
know,
guy
Nick,
spot
you know-
considering
you know-
Carson Wentz's injury history.
Yeah, he's going to get hurt, but eventually they're going to end up. Somebody's going to eat the money. They're going to Cam right now. As soon as they cut him, they're off the hook. They
That's
don't
what-
owe
you know
him
that's why
anything. So
Todd Gurley got
and
cut.
they're
Because if they waited 30 more minutes, they would have had to pay him like $12 million this year. They literally waited till
so they had to
30
cut him.
minutes to go, and they're like, and cut him.
Yeah. They cut Clay Matthews too, which is pretty funny.
Oh, no, the Rams have to
I
cut
always thought he
everybody
was
because they're
overrated,
trying to get
but-
under cap because they still have to sign Jalen Ramsey. And Jalen Ramsey's calling them out for not
Well, yeah.
paying everybody.
Well, I mean, when you pay Aaron Donald that much money, and then you pay Jared Goff as much as you did, who's never done anything.
Well, who else you got there? Brandon Cooks is
It
also
kills
they're
you.
trying to trade Brandon Cooks.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They paid him a ton of money too. I forgot about that. So those are the three big guys on that team at
Is it
least
Dante Fowler?
that
Dante
killed their
Fowler,
cap.
Pass rusher on the edge.
He moved. He went to
No, he's on the Rams.
Where did he end
got
up?
Traded from Jacksonville to the Rams. Didn't he?
no. Dante Fowler signed
The
somewhere.
Rams.
I can't remember now. Hang on. I'll try
Were
and
there
find
any other
it.
guys you want to talk about out there?
Josh, you're supposed to have the
Were
tracker
there
up.
any
dude.
other guys you guys wanted to talk about that haven't landed yet?
That haven't landed yet.
Okay.
no.
I mean, fantasy relevant? No. Jadeveon Clowney, I'm kind of interested to see where he ends up.
Guys, Nelson Aguilar still hasn't been signed.
Buffalo signing for a day.
no,
and then
not
cut him,
Nelson.
and Philadelphia signing for a day and cut him. And
Do you think he
Right.
can catch the coronavirus?
he is the immunity. He is the
Doubt it.
immunity.
Catch it.
We need to take his blood, and then we'll
Alright.
make the vaccine with.
Oh, Dante
Oh,
Fowler went to the
Falcons? Okay.
Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
He's
right.
overrated. Dante Fowler's overrated.
I don't know how they must have. Who else did they cut to make cap room? Because they had nothing. That's crazy.
Well, as soon as that CBA
Yeah.
got signed, I think the cap went up. About $10 million.
I'm really
Went
glad.
up 10 million. Yeah, went up 10
I'm really
million.
glad Dallas let their best pass rusher walk
Quinn?
this year too. Robert Quinn.
He's
That
like
was super
90
smart.
and he's been in the league for a while. And
He had
Well,
11 and a half sacks. I don't care.
Well, no, DeMarcus Lawrence will have 11.5 sacks next year. He'll be fine.
All right,
No,
boys,
he
let's
got
get this
paid.
show
He
over
can
with.
trash
We got stuff to do tonight. It's getting late. Josh, send us home.
Thanks for tuning in for American Fantasy Football Podcast. Eric is salty about his team's moves. Brad is looking forward to the future with Tyrod, and my team paid a running back that we didn't need. So things are really working out great. You can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Empty Wagon FF. Eric is at Guns of Eld 19. Brad is at Tack Jones, and I'm going to be at FF Josh Hughes. We love you guys, and we will be doing this for a while, even with the coronavirus.
Later.
See you next week.
Bye.